This is a video for beginners or people on a budget who want to mod or customize their G-Shock. And in this case, we're going to take a very common Casio G-Shock, which is the DW-9052, and we'll customize it and make some modifications to turn it into a unique and attractive G-Shock that you could probably compare with other factory offerings from Casio. And here it is. This is our customized G-Shock. And notice how dramatic the change has been from a very plain, pretty boring matte black DW-9052 into a very attractive two-tone custom G-Shock. Okay, let's go back to this shot, which is how the watch started out. It's a DW-9052 1V, which I purchased on eBay. I bought it for $32 and paid $6.95 for shipping. Now, this same watch will retail for around $45 on Amazon, Target, or Walmart. And I wouldn't pay, and that's for brand new, I wouldn't pay more than $20 to $30 if I'm buying the same watch used. Again, it's one of the least expensive true G-Shocks that you can purchase on the market. Now, one of the easiest way to customize a G-Shock is to swap out parts, and in this case, we'll be replacing the bezel and the band strap of the 9052. And here is the replacement bezel we'll be using. It again is purchased on eBay. It's matte blue, and I purchased it for $14.95, and the shipping was free. And unfortunately, as far as bezel colors are concerned, the only choice really is matte blue, well, and black, which you already have to begin with. That is a disadvantage of using a 9052 as a basis for a custom G-Shock. And here's the band I use. It's a white band, and it's supposed to go on a DW-6900, but it'll fit the 952 just fine. Also, you can use a band from a DW-5600. And I paid $23 for this. Now, the reason I went with a DW-6900 band instead of the 952 band is because the choice, again, of color. The 9052, again, only has another alternate color, which is matte blue, and I wanted something different. And 6900s and 5600s, these bands are available in just about every color you can imagine, and that's one reason I went with the 6900. Okay, and here is really the only tool I used, a precision screwdriver, a small screwdriver. It's got a Phillips head on one side, and I can switch it around, and it'll have a slot on the other side. The Phillips screwdriver I'll use to remove the bezel screws right here. In this case, it also holds the bumpers, which you'll have to transfer from the old bezel to the new bezel. And these decorative pins were also transferred from the old bezel to the new bezel. Okay, now let's take a closer look at the new band strap that we're putting on our watch. If you notice, the 6900s or the 5600s band strap will have these bumpers or tabs already built into the strap, while the band straps for the 9052 does not. That's why it requires that extra bumper that you have to install on the bezel. Anyway, just the same, it fits just fine. As you can see, plenty of clearance, no interference, no rubbing, anything. It's all good. And as you can see, I have a black keeper on the band. I wish it was white. Unfortunately, I had to use a white band, or white keeper rather, on a different project. But I intend to get a different color, a white keeper, for this watch as soon as I can. Okay, so when I swapped out the bezels, pay attention to these buttons. These buttons will want to rotate when you remove the old bezel, and they'll kind of get out of position when you try to put the new bezel on. Thing is, you gotta pay attention to how they're shaped and how they're oriented in the holes. Okay, now I'll be using the precision screwdriver again, this time with the slot end installed, and I'm going to use it to remove the old band from the watch. Here I'm using an old watch, my beater Casio, and I'm sorry I don't have a good angle or camera angle on this, but I'm prying the spring bar back to remove the old band. And there you go, it's off. And I'm just simply reinstalling the same band on my beater Casio using the same method. This time I'm prying the spring bar back, and I'll be pushing it back into the holes to install the band. And the last thing you have to do to your custom watch, well, in my case anyway, is to give it a name. In this case, I call it Fat Albert. Why? Because it reminds me of the U.S. Marine C-130T, Fat Albert, that supports, or rather is part of the Blue Angels team. And that's it. I hope you got something out of this video, and I hope you enjoy your new customized G-Shock. The results, I think, are well worth the effort and well worth the time and the cost that you put into it for modifying the G-Shock to have something really unique on your wrist. And remember, this is just the entry-level customizing or modding of G-Shocks, and there's just so much more that you can do, from dyeing the resin to changing or making a custom display. Alright, thanks for watching.